Hey guys, it's Mr Fudgito here. You're watching Unity Legacy tutorials from beginner to advanced with me, Mr Fudgito, as your tutor. Okay, so let's get started. Last episode we went over some of the windows and features of the Unity editor, and this episode we're going to be formatting our project so that it's ready for us to start working. So this is going to be a fairly quick episode. However, it's going to be a bit annoying, I guess. I mean, it's annoying for me because I do this a lot because I have a lot of projects that I work on and I constantly change projects. So we're just going to be going through the preferences for our projects here. First of all, we want to make sure that our window is going to be the perfect size that we want, and we want to set a logo or maybe some things like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Edit tab here. We're going to find Project Settings, and from this list we can select anything that we want to change. So we don't need to change anything up until Player. So we need to change Player. The first thing we want to do is we want to set our company name. Sorry. So set your company name to whatever you want. And your product name can be whatever you want. I'm going to keep this one as tutorial project. You could choose your icon here. However, we don't have any icons that we have imported. And you could choose a cursor here. Now if we move on, we could pick the different types of builds we will make. For this, we're just going to make a standalone for PC, Mac, and Linux. I want to make sure that my game is not full screen by default, and I want the resolution that it opens to be 1280 by 720. I don't want to display the resolution dialog, and I don't want to use the player log, so I'm going to uncheck those. I don't want to use a resizable window. I want to make sure it can run in the background, so I'm going to go back to this and select Run in Background to be true. Mac full screen mode can just be full screen window. And supported aspect ratios, I'm going to deselect everything except for 16 by 9. In the icon settings, the icon will be dealt with by itself once you choose something in this field over here. In the splash image, I honestly am not even sure what splash image does, so I'm just going to leave this as none. In other settings, now here we want to determine what we're going to, I don't know what we're determining here. Normally I don't mess around with these things because I don't know a lot about them. I'm not like a complete pro with all this stuff. However, one thing that I change is if our game is going to be outdoor, I always use forward rendering path, because forward rendering path lets me deliver very high quality shadows over a very wide area. So for example, but it only lets me use a directional light. So if I made a massive island, an outdoor island, I would use forward lighting and just light the whole thing with a directional light. That way I would have very high quality shadows, because if I use the point light and I scaled the point light to a massive radius, and then I would get very pixelated shadows, and that wouldn't be great. However, if we're making our game indoors, then we want to set this to deferred lighting, because deferred lighting allows us to use point lights and spotlights with dynamic shadows, which is very important if you're doing something indoors in small spaces where you could still get high quality shadows. So that's that. Now we can move on. So go back to Edit, Project Settings, and let's select Quality. So we'll deal with our different quality levels here. I'm going to go with Fantastic first. And now this is my opinion, but you could change this to whatever you want. All of these are very self-explanatory. The settings, if you don't know what they are, you could hover over them and it will tell you. Number of pixels, lights to use, number of pixel lights to use, base texture level, when to enable anisotropic texturing, anti-aliasing, of course. So for fantastic, I'm going to go with 200 here. Full res, forced on, 8 multi-sampling, hard and soft shadows, very high resolution, stable fit for cascades, and a shadow distance of 200. On the beautiful level, I'm going to go with 150, full res, forced on, 4 times multi-sampling, hard and soft shadows, high resolution, stable fit for cascades, and 150 shadow distance. For the good setting, I'm going to go with 100 pixel light count, full res, forced on, 2 times multi-sampling, soft particles, hard and soft shadows, high resolution, close fit, 2 cascades, 100 shadow distance. On simple, I'm going to go with 75, half res, per texture, disabled, no soft particles, hard and soft shadows, medium resolution, close fit, no cascades, 75. For fast, we will do 50, texture quality, quarter res, disabled, disabled, hard shadows only, low resolution, stable fit, no cascades, 50 shadow distance. And on fastest, we'll go with 25 pixel light count, 8th res, disabled, disabled, no soft particles, hard shadows only, low resolution, close fit, no cascades, and 25. Now I want to make sure it always syncs on every V-blank, which means it makes sure my V-sync is set so I don't get any screen tearing while during gameplay. Everything above simple should already have every V-blank set. And that should be good for the quality settings. I just want to make sure I set my defaults for standalone to beautiful, so that when we first start the game, it starts at beautiful graphics. Now if we go back to project settings, I think that should be good for now. Editor, nothing is required there. If we want, we can go to preferences, and we could choose some of the things that we want here. Always show project wizard, auto refresh. We could choose the external tools we want to use, colors, some keys. We could set up a cache server. Packages, I am not entirely sure what this means, so I would stay away from that, or I would read about it somewhere online. So we can go ahead and close this, and now our project is totally ready to be worked with. So yeah, catch you guys in the next episode. We'll start doing some level design, or maybe we'll do a main menu instead. Yeah, see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.
Stop in my mind.